NCAA Pick 'em Boys 2025. I hate you, Peter. It's week 10. I'm your host, Gavin Lynch, the usual. Guys, I feel like this is like the busiest season of all time. I mean, there's just so much going on, and the ranked teams losing, upsets, coaching carousel. It's the beauty of college football, and that's why we love it and why we come back every week.
That is indeed correct. It's been great.
It's been phenomenal. Picks are due. Saturday, November 1st at 11 a.m. First game, Thursday, October 30th, 6:30. You know the games are already playing, but get them in Central Time. You know what it is, week 10. Now, we got to get into the recap of last week. Week 9, Grant still holding strong at 28-17, but I'm creeping 24-21. I'm coming for you. I've been working hard. I've been training for years for this moment. I have been in top 5 every single year. Top 3 2 of those times. I'm going to try to go for the first, go for the dubs. But listen, not many people in the positives at the moment, so you guys lock in. Reach out to your boy, do some research. You'd be surprised how much money you can make just by doing a little research. Besides the point, Survivor week cap of week 9, nobody's been eliminated. Congrats. I think there's about 5 people left, including myself. Boy, it's just a big old me week. But congrats to everybody for still holding strong, those 5 people, and to everybody else, just being in the league, man. It's great. It's been a great season. I feel like we've been talking a lot more than we ever have before in this league, and, that's great. I hope we can grow it, make it bigger, make it stronger. Now, let's get into a couple of games that screwed a couple people up. There was a lot of diversity in these picks this week, so not many people jumped on the same game, but we'll go through a few. Don't worry. Starting strong with ranked 16, Virginia, North Carolina, UNC, baby, 17-16. Virginia to cover 10.5. Now, rumor had it last week that North Carolina might have had a turnaround. They might have found a little something, which is probably the reason why they covered this game. But listen, I bet Virginia to cover as well. I didn't put it on my card, but it happens. Now, let's talk ranked 4, Alabama at South Carolina. Alabama should have taken this game a little further. Alabama to cover 12.5. They did not, but maybe it's one of those we're not giving South Carolina enough credit. But, that's why we have football and a few weeks ahead to find out a little bit more. Last but not least, we have ranked 22, Texas at Mississippi State. Boy, I hate that game. I loved watching it until the end. Mississippi State really had an opportunity to capitalize, and Texas still sucks. You can't say nothing good about this game. Now, to get into the rest of everything, I have a collective group of gentlemen that think long and hard daily about football, their careers, their futures, the future of the coaching carousel. We think a lot. Introducing the NCAA expert, Jerry Stovall. And last and not least, absolutely, we'll give it to him, Peter Goulandry. Boys, what's up? Anybody?
What up, my little... kind of started off strong. Gotta get in there. Man of my word for Ian. Anybody shocked that Bama was just staring at that cock right in the face and they barely missed that thing?
Man,
No
when
surprise.
you have a bunch of guys just flailing pom-poms, like you're destined to get a cock in the face. So I am. It doesn't shock me that they
Don't
got
talk
that
about
close.
A&M that way. Oh, sorry. You're talking about... Yeah, my bad. Sorry. Miscommunication. Didn't hear you the
No,
first
A&M
time.
doesn't do pom-poms. Plenty of cocks in their faces, but not pom-poms.
What do we think about the coaching carousel real quick?
I
Any
would love
buzz?
to throw my $5 in. the governor of Louisiana is gonna throw LSU's athletic department in a depression, in like it's gonna be astronomical. The
Is that
more I
something he's
keep
allowed to do?
Well, since LSU doesn't have a president, he is essentially the
That's a
acting
space
president
bowl.
until they hire someone. And this guy is an idiot. He was the one that threw a big hubbub and like got on national television and just bad mouthing our women's basketball team because they supposedly didn't stay out for the national anthem, when in reality they have a time schedule of everything that they do from when they wake up to after the last buzzer plays, and he's thinking, oh, they're doing some kind of bullshit. He's also the one that decided, I'm going to bring a live tiger in the stadium, when the consensus has been no, don't do it. But what does he do? I want to do it because I'm the governor, blah, blah, blah. No, the guy's an idiot. He's going to keep Scott Woodward out of the coaching decision, which is idiotic. He falsely blames him for the $150 million buyouts that has happened between Jimbo Fisher and Brian Kelly, which is also false. It was Bjork that created the extension and that guarantee of how much it was. Like, was he responsible for Brian Kelly? Yes. But you know what else he was responsible for? Chris Peterson at Washington, Buzz Williams, the men's basketball coach at A&M, Kim
Right.
Mulkey, women's basketball at LSU, and Jay Johnson, LSU's baseball coach, who has won 2 national titles in the last 3 years. So Governor Landry can kiss it, kick rocks all the way up and down the um, whatever. Just go kick rocks somewhere for a very long time.
I mean, this is absolutely perfect. I mean, think about it. On my end, as an outsider, all I cared about was Brian Kelly's post conferences, and that got ripped from me. I was a little upset about that. And then the governor, out of left field, goes, "Hold your britches. We got a post press conference right here, post game, right here at the governor's office, and we'll do it every Saturday."
His
I'm here.
concept of money is just in monopoly money. Like, the overall buyout for the entire Brian Kelly coaching staff is north of $100 million. On top of that, you would have to assume that any other coach that he gets, including their staff, is going to have to be north of 125 million. That does not include the buyout at their other school. So assume it's Lane Kiffin. I think his buyout at Ole Miss is 60 million or something like that. So they're going to have to spend 200 to 250 million dollars on a combination of buyouts and new coaching staffs altogether. Let's not forget, they still owe 17 million to Ed Orgeron by December of 2025. The guy's an idiot.
Yeah, I listen. I would say, I wanted to say that this year was the year of anybody could beat anybody, but that's probably a 2 year thing already. Because last year that was something very similar. I would say this year is all about big risk and big reward. That's what I would call this season,
Right now,
because
it's a lot of risk.
a lot of risk, and that's going to be this season, is everybody pouring the risk in, and we're going to see if that reward pays off in the 2026 season. But I mean, this year, with I swear, with quarterbacks, running backs, and coaches, and offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, everybody has been high risk, high reward, and we've seen clearly that a lot has not paid off, and people are going to make more sacrifices this year, and that's just the name of the game. Peter, any thoughts?
Two thoughts. One, I am curious what accent Brian Kelly's working on right now in the mirror. If he just looks at a map and says, "Okay, I need to practice California or North Dakota or whatever FCS school I have to go coach at now." The next thought is, I think people are trying to throw money around this year because I fully expect there to be a cap limit, like a salary cap next year. I've been
It
hearing a
honestly
lot of
wouldn't be a
rumors
bad
of it,
thing.
and yeah, because it's like there's a good point if you look at it. The most expensive teams are the ones who are ranked the highest right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, not saying like there's plenty of teams that are expensive that aren't ranked high, but it's kind of turning into who can pay the most money.
Kind of the discrepancy between the SEC and everybody else right now. And I'm not going to say believe it or not, I'm not really a fan of it. Now, I love SEC being like a top tier caliber conference, but by the same token, it's like, man, not many teams in the SEC, and I'd love to see more chaos and all that, but it always seems to be that whoever has the most money gets to play ball, and it just gets closer and closer to feeling like the NFL, and I don't like the direction that it's going. But with caps, I think that that's a great way to combat it. I think.
I mean, the big problem that you're seeing nowadays is like even going into the LSU A&M weekend, LSU announced that they are going to be raising again for the second consecutive year season ticket prices. And I don't see how that's even possible. Like you are one of the very few teams in the country that's actually in the black when it comes to revenue after the athletic season. You
Yeah.
have over $40 million each year coming in for TV revenue alone. And like LSU sells themselves. Like you haven't had a sellout in season tickets in a long time. Like you've always sold the tickets and then some. Why on God's green earth are they now raising prices? And then you have other smaller programs. I can't remember exactly who. I think maybe it was Southern Miss that announced that there's now going to be like a competitive fee where it's just
That's
added fees
Tennessee.
to Tennessee. Okay, thank you. Yes, just so that they can help with paying these NIL collectives. Like it's getting absurd. And I think you're right, Peter. We need to have a salary cap.
Wow. You know what? You know, you're making some connections. I see what's happening. The governor steps in for LSU. How can they pay for the next head coach with the governor? Taxpayer money.
And I mean,
Let
they could try.
let Louisiana, the state, buy the head coach. Look at
Let
You know
that.
how many people,
Let
I
him
mean, there were
cook.
people freaking out about the new football facility when it was built and comparing it to the rundown library. If they were to say, like, oh, yeah, we're going to pay for Nick Saban to come back and coach at LSU and we're going to use taxpayer dollars, I mean, there are plenty of people in Louisiana, and especially outside of Baton Rouge. If you were to tell people from Ruston, from Lafayette, from Monroe, New Orleans, Thibodaux, that their tax dollars is not going to their school, but going to pay for LSU, oh my gosh, you would be run out of the governor's mansion before you know it.
I would say the
Probably
same
before
about
Mardi
like
Gras.
I would say the same about like Texas, the state. It's just like if you decide to favor one direction or the other, boy, you're going to get like half the state mad at you. Just
Oh,
plain and
more than
simple.
half for sure.
People just need to stop acting Jewish and just fork up the money.
That's what I'm saying. Stop being so selfish.
I mean, there's a police in our towns in Mississippi that are blocking traffic from going to Raising Cane's just because they think that it's Todd Graves paying the
Benefactor.
salary. Exactly. They don't want you to buy the caniacs that are what $11 for 6 pieces of chicken.
Shit,
Good
man.
Lord.
Oh yeah, I mean, cheaper than Chicken Express breaks my heart. All right, let's get into some
Crazy.
games. What do we say, boys?
That's about damn time.
We're going to start aggressive. 11 a.m. slot. Ranked 9, Vanderbilt at ranked 20, Texas. Now, somehow on this God green earth. Now, you might say the stats might show it. I disagree. Texas is favored 2.5. My I got this score 25-22 with Vanderbilt having a 61% chance of covering that. And for me and my stats, that is put a double unit down on that play on covering the spread. There's no question about it. Now, I'm sure the line flipped already since we've talked about it, but it has to be Vanderbilt to cover plus 2.5. I mean, it seems like the obvious choice. Am I wrong? Am I crazy?
Not at all. I mean, Vanderbilt's defense has been fantastic against the run, and that's what Texas has been lacking this year. If you're looking at it, they're 74th in rushing yards, 60th in rushing attempts, and 83rd in the nation in yards per rush. Compare that to 13th on Vanderbilt's defense, second and 26th respectively. I mean, it's going to make Texas very one-dimensional, and we see what happens when you put Manning in an obvious passing situation. I don't like it for Texas. I don't care it's at home. Give me Vandy to cover and win.
Peter, before you go, a real stupid question. Is Arch Manning still on concussion protocol?
Ooh,
I'm pretty sure. I looked at the thing. He's not on anything that I've seen, like questionable or anything. So I think
I don't know. He's breaking traffic laws, so something must be up. Might not think it's straight.
So according to the SEC, because every week they have to do the injury report.
Yep.
You have Arch Manning as questionable.
I hate that.
Well, I mean, in the hierarchy, you have good to go, probable, questionable, doubtful, and then out.
Am I the only one hoping he plays so they lose?
And not have an excuse for it? Absolutely.
Yeah, because if Arch Manning's not playing, they somehow like keep it close. They're going to start raving about the next guy, and it's going to go all downhill. Peter, thoughts?
I'm honestly taking UT in this one.
Are you serious?
Hear me out.
I don't want to skip him.
Quarterback for Vanderbilt out.
What?
It might be their backup, D. Dickey, but he's still out.
Oh, come on. I was like, excuse me? This would have been national news.
I was looking at their injury report and I saw QB and I'm like, hold up. And then I looked at the name and I'm like, who the hell is D. Dickey?
D. Dickey. Man, he's the talk of the town. Don't you know?
The amount of like great signs you could make if he was their starting quarterback and he beat you, like get dicked down by Dickey. Come on. Like,
oh yeah.
And go on
Dallas. Forever. Yeah, college game day, those signs in the back. Ooh.
Here's the thing with Texas. Every time I bet against them, they win. It could be by the smallest margin. And with the spread the way it is, it really is just kind of like a pick'em game. Like you need some like. Well, if it went to overtime, that wouldn't be as weird. Anyway.
Well, yeah, because it's sub 3. It's a field goal. Like if it's not field goal numbers, it's a pick'em game.
So, I don't know. I'm just taking the Texas side. Could be a team of destiny here, finding their way to the playoff. Because it's also too, maybe in just some messed up world, God looks down and says, Peter's cheering for him. Fuck Peter. Go Vandy.
Yeah. Listen. Hey, you know what? Jerry and I probably could agree if you had to make that sacrifice by rooting for UT, Vanderbilt to take the win. Well, gladly. I'll buy you a beer next week. How does that sound?
Hey, sounds good.
For the non-Peters out there, Texas is 2-6 against the spread, whereas Vanderbilt is 6-2. And according to SI.com, Sarkisian, somehow still on the practice field, even though he wants to go to NFL, is quoted saying, yeah, they both practice here today. Arch is still obviously in protocol. There are steps as it pertains to protocol, but Michael's practiced the last 2 days. So take that as you can.
Jerry, why'd you guys throw that sprinkles in there?
It is not going to matter.
No, it's not, but it's just one of those, like, I don't know. It's
like the
still
song
don't trust
from
Vandy. Like,
how do you not trust Vandy? How at this point have you not trusted Vandy?
I would have agreed with that last year. If you would have said that last year, I would have been like, I get it. It's a Cinderella story. The wheels got to fall off, and they did. But
here's my thing. They lose to Bama. Okay, fine, Bama.
Okay, and what's Bama's strength on offense?
Right, but what I'm saying is they barely.
What's their strength? What's their strength? No. What's their strength?
Honestly,
put it on the airwaves. What?
Got nothing. Maybe passing.
It's passing. It's a passing game, and that's what Vanderbilt is weakest on.
Mizzou's not a good
defense.
team, and Vandy barely snuck a win out of Mizzou. Like I don't think Mizzou is any better than Texas. Because the
I would
thing
take
is,
Mizzou over Texas.
the
Same.
same
7
way
out of
how
10
we
times.
say that Vanderbilt could make Texas one-dimensional, I think Texas defensive line can make Vandy one-dimensional, and I don't trust Pavea. I really don't. He's, like I said, the great
Pavia.
value, Pavia, the great value Tim Tebow. And it's also still weird that Johnny Manziel shows up on their sidelines. That's besides the point.
Yeah, that's a weird thing
But-
too. I think it's a celebrity collective thing. Is my first thought, but I could be wrong.
It's also too like if Texas gets pressure to him, I see him making the same mistakes he did against Bama when he turned the ball over at critical points. So I think Texas defensive line could actually really affect their offense, and I just don't trust him enough to carry a team, to be quite frank with you.
Compared to
No,
Texas,
granted, each time, right? Like I said, maybe reverse psychology here, but even though Texas has been barely sneaking out wins, you still have got to give respect where respect is due. They're still sneaking out these games.
I don't. What I hate is I don't disagree. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, look at the stats. I mean, they have pulled through some sneaky games, and you could say the same about Vanderbilt in certain situations. I would just love to know the thought behind Vegas putting Vanderbilt at +2.
Just because it's in Austin.
Yeah, I think that's a big part. It's also too. I think people, like I said, I think people put a lot of weight on the Texas defense because that's really who's been keeping them in games. Is their defense? It's not like they're winning these shootouts. Take away Mississippi State, but like everything else has been really low scoring games. So I think Vegas is looking at Texas's defense and seeing how yeah.
The
You
money's
gotta
on.
look at the
money's on
like-
Texas.
and it's stupid that it is because I mean Kentucky does not have a quarterback. Oklahoma had a crippled person at quarterback. Florida, yeah, like Florida and Mississippi State are the only two schools that had a quarterback, and they both it was 21-29 against Florida, and Florida beat them. Let's just remember that.
Yeah.
And then Mississippi State scored 38. So I mean, against good quarterbacks, they've done jack shit.
I just don't think Vanderbilt has a good quarterback.
I mean, on Bovada right now, they got +2.5 at even money.
Isn't Bovada a travel website?
There's a gambling website, but I think is there
Oh
a
my-
traveling one?
Oh my gosh, what are you thinking of?
I'm
It's
thinking
start-
Bovada.
No, but oh my gosh.
Are y'all getting y'all's betting like numbers from a travel website to help you get like airfare and hotel rooms?
No, Bovada is the #1 offshore gambling service in the
There's
world.
Trivago.
$12 billion goes through Bovada in Texas alone.
Please tell me they're not based out in Jamaica.
It's offshore.
Which shore?
If
Hey,
it's in Jamaica, it's not going to be there
it's
much
gone.
longer.
I placed bets this afternoon after the hurricane, so it's not Jamaica. It's good. Some white people run the poker tables, so it can't be. I don't know. It's got to be somewhere where like Croatian people could get there, maybe, or something. It's offshore enough. Offshore enough. I would say like offshore, closer to like Swiss banks.
Can you imagine those Ukrainians or Russians looking at this game? It's like, white person bet on cow versus salmon. This make no sense.
This make no sense. Yeah. So I mean,
Cow
listen.
cow mall person. Cow win.
Okay. Next game. Somehow. Got 24 minutes deep already. Listen, if Texas wins that game, we're never going to hear the end of it, just by the way. All right. Ranked 18, Oklahoma at ranked 14, Tennessee. Tennessee reasonably favored 3.5. Jerry, give it to me hot.
Well, they do say that the home team, gets
That's not hot.
No, I mean, I'm looking at this. We have two top 25 ranked teams of the SEC. where Oklahoma's 9th overall and Tennessee is 7th. So that was blowing my mind. But at the same time, I'm seeing two teams that don't like to go against the spread. I don't know what either team is going, like what their identity is going into week 10, because both of these teams looked fantastically hot starting. And then you have John Mateer, who decided to cut off his throwing hand, and Aguilar, which is now starting to look like a quarterback from UCLA. So I don't know what I have with this. I think I have to go with Tennessee just because they're the home team.
I'm kind of on the same boat personally. Like both teams play like they're ranked, where they're ranked, but then they've taken some interesting losses to where like you can't really find a momentum or a something to follow on either one of these teams, which is funny because you never hear anybody talking about Oklahoma or Tennessee because nobody knows where to go with these teams. And still to this day, week 10, we don't know what to make of these teams. Do they have potential to get themselves into the playoffs? We don't know. It's crazy. I got Tennessee literally because they're at home too. Tennessee plays fire at home. Always do. Peter, what do you think?
Yeah, I got Tennessee. OU sucks. I'm tired of hearing this. OU should be ranked. They're going to be unranked. They're
What
cheeks.
about Texas beating them?
Again, John Mateer did not have a hand.
I know.
Texas beat them. Yeah, I think I would hammer the over on this game. I think there's going to be negative defense played at this point. Just go 11 on 11 offense, same time, see who scores faster.
See, I disagree. I'm looking at the stats here. Oklahoma still has the best defense in all of the nation, where they're either ranked number 1 or number 2 in almost every statistical category. And then Tennessee, though their passing offense isn't that fantastic, it's still at home. It's still a rowdy environment. And I don't know if Mateer's hand is back on him or not. So I would actually probably take the under. What's the over for this game?
56.5 is where it's at right now.
Yeah, I would take the under.
I still like the over just because I don't know. I think there'll be some points scored. I think we'll see Oklahoma fall out of the rankings, or at least be 23-25. But once you get past 22, the committee's been just shuffling out teams essentially. Like whoever was unranked and got a win, they throw them in there.
I have this game 33-27 Tennessee, which hits the over at 60 on the dot. I'm seriously like probably like if you need me to screenshot it, I will. We'll probably hit both the Tennessee and the over. And I mean the money was because the line I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure the line released at 54.5 and has pushed itself up to 55.5 to some books. Listen, Jerry, you're right, but this I mean it screams shootout. It does. I hate to say it.
I feel like any big game, Tennessee's defense collapses. Like it's impressive how bad their defense gets in big games.
But they'll find a way to win at home, and let's teabag the goalpost again just for shits and gigs. Why not? Good times. Now, last game. We got hanging in there, ranked 23, USC against Nebraska. USC favored 6.5. Nebraska shouldn't be +1, +2, +50, +100 against anybody. I hate Nebraska. They're a garbage team. They never make me money. So, because of that stat alone, has nothing to do with my AI stats. Nothing. Because of that alone, F Nebraska, I'm taking USC all the way 6.5. I might push it to 10 just so I can get some plus money. And F everybody that thinks that Nebraska is a decent team that has any And that Nebraska shouldn't come out of anybody's mouth at any given point in any sports talk show ever. Ever. Will Compton, suck one. USC -6.5. Anybody have any takes?
Yeah, what happened to you in Nebraska? Good
A
Lord.
lot of money. That's what happened. It felt like a divorce.
So from what I'm seeing on these stats and numbers is that Nebraska has a fantastic pass defense, and USC is obviously doing Lincoln Riley USC stuff.
Yeah.
Nebraska also has a pretty decent pass offense. So talking about the over under, probably take the over on this one.
Amen.
I'm going to be choosing USC for just two reasons. One being the fact that when it comes to the rushing game, Nebraska sucks. They're 103rd in the nation, giving up 4.7 yards per rush. And you need a good rush offense to get the pass offense going. So there's that one. The second one, Nebraska's 2-5-1 against the spread this season. Those are terrible numbers. I mean, USC's not much better with 4-3, but that's still 2 more wins in the category compared to Nebraska. So I do like USC on the road and to beat the spread.
Yeah, I got 3 words. Dylan Raiola sucks. Literally, the most impressive thing about him is how well he cosplays like Patrick Mahomes. It is incredible.
Hey,
it's also
says the one's following him on TikTok, huh?
I don't have TikTok. Get that Chinese shit out of here.
Yeah.
But no, Nebraska hasn't been relevant since the 90s. They're an embarrassment of a program. Yep. The only reason why they're relevant in their state is because everything else is just core in there. Like Nebraska, literally every Nebraska fan I've ever met is delusional. They think they're on the same level as Alabama or any other the other like blue blood programs. USC, I think, is actually a really good team. They can put up points, and like Nebraska got killed by Minnesota. That's all you need to know. Minnesota's a hockey state. They're not good at anything else. So I expect USC to just shove it right up Nebraska's cornhole and just keep pushing by at least 2 to 3 scores.
All right, I have a question. Do we think that a 3-loss team will make it into the playoffs this year?
No. 3 losses, you're done.
I think it depends on the loss.
Because we have a lot of people taking 1 loss already. And a lot of people that have 2 losses, potential 2 losses, where it's like I could see a lot of teams entering this playoffs with 2 losses and maybe 1 or 2 teams with a 3 loss.
So right now you have Notre Dame as the highest 2-loss team,
right,
at number 12, and their schedule is still heavily favored for them. Yeah. I think the only game that it's questionable is maybe USC at the end of the season.
No, they already beat USC.
Yeah. Oh, they already beat USC.
No, USC has the questionable game with Oregon.
It's smooth sailing for Notre Dame. It's bad teams.
The only reason why I asked that is because I see USC's 5-2, just like Notre Dame, and I'm like, USC's not the worst team, but they got to play Oregon, and that seems to be a loss unless something crazy happened. Like if USC beats Oregon, like you feel like you got to put USC in the conversation.
What's hard is they're not going to get to the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
If they got to the Big Ten championship, I think they'd have a much clearer route. They need they need Indiana and or Ohio State to lose a game for them to have a legitimate shot to get in.
And even then, it's going to be tough to see either Ohio State or Indiana to get out of the top 12 this late in the season. The fact that they are undefeated, and like they would have to be an astronomical fall off. And it's really only Ohio State or Indiana or Texas A&M that would be able to be a 3-loss team in the playoffs, in my opinion.
for me, it was just like with USC needing those teams to lose. It wasn't for them to be to fall out. It was more so USC could get into the Big Ten championship game to like add to
Yeah.
their resume.
So
Because
you're
I
telling me
think
Houston's not going to make it to the playoffs this year?
no chance, absolutely not.
Okay.
Like Georgia Tech, I think Georgia Tech, even if they go undefeated, has a high chance of getting knocked out. If you have a
No
lot of really good
way.
one-loss teams, they play no one.
Well, ACC has a guaranteed conference team in there, and then they
True.
also have a couple of at-large bids.
Yeah,
So
64
they're
to
almost a
1,
guarantee.
baby.
Lapped by
64 to 1. Natties, baby.
Yeah, Georgia Tech's gonna have one loss by the end of the year. They're gonna get a
Maybe to Georgia.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Nah, Georgia's going to take a loss to Georgia Tech. Mark it.
If Georgia loses, they're out.
Doubtful.
I don't know. I just don't see a lot of. I see Notre Dame as potentially the only 2-loss team to get in. Maybe one more.
Georgia taking another loss being out is crazy.
Alabama could lose to LSU and still be in it.
Ooh, not to LSU.
Yeah.
LSU lost a lot of respect.
Nah.
They lost a lot of respect, but they're still a competitive team, which, I mean, it's now if it was a significant loss to a team like Auburn, then I think you would have a conversation. But a loss to LSU in 2 weeks, I don't see that kicking them out of the top 12.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I don't disagree with that either. But yeah, we got a lot to investigate as these last few weeks creep up. A lot can happen in these next 4 weeks, and I'm excited. That's what we want. Any last thoughts?
James Franklin's apparently on his way to Virginia Tech, from what I have been seeing. I think both Arkansas and Virginia Tech offered him roughly $10 million, and he decided to go to Virginia Tech. And then obviously people watching flights going from one college town to another. So far, we have seen flights going from Oxford to Baton Rouge, as well as Eugene, Oregon to Baton Rouge. So lots of conspiracy theorists out there with their tinfoil hats on watching flight trackers.
It's a pastime for some people, and I get it. I've done it myself a few times. Once one domino falls, a lot more dominoes are going to fall. I just need one program to pull a trigger, and then everything will fall so fast. Just someone's got to pull a trigger. Once it's pulled, everything will fall right into place. It's just someone's just got to move the first pawn.
So it's actually kind of interesting because if programs wait until after the college football playoff to get their coach, they're missing out on transfer portal window. They're missing out on early signing period. They're essentially going into next season without a recruiting class. And that's just the way that everything has been designed so far. It's a terrible setup.
No, everything will be decided before then. It's just crazy that it's taken this long already. I would have thought at least one program would have signed one coach just to get this process going. Because, I mean, we got I swear, I want to say it's close to 14 good, decent programs that are looking for a head coach right now.
Yeah. And no one's going to make a claim for it just yet because you still have a lot of coaches that have bowl eligible teams. Quite a few of them have playoff potential teams. And there's not going to be any rat poison or negative thoughts in those athletic programs before then. You think old Lane Kiffin or Dan Lanning's having any conversations with their teams about leaving? Nope. So it's going to be a miserable new way of coaching carousels happening. It wouldn't shock me to see some form of NCAA legislation change to where we completely eliminate the signing periods until after the college football playoff.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think shit's going to hit the fan if Sarkisian does go to the NFL. Like, there's a lot of rumors.
Oh, that would be so sweet, though. Wouldn't that chaos in Austin just be fantastic?
Honestly, if Texas gets unranked, it doesn't go anywhere, it wouldn't surprise me if he did go. Like, just gets out of town before a seat gets hot.
Any teams talking to him?
No.
It's
Or
there's
what's the
two.
rumor,
Tennessee?
anyways? Yeah, Titans would be
Tennessee.
obvious.
I've heard the Dolphins could be looking at him.
I
That'd
mean,
be
heck, the
crazy if
And
they
Dolphins are
took
looking at me right now.
Man, come on, don't give
there's a
McDaniel like
third
that.
team. I forget who it was. But yeah, there's a couple teams out there.
I mean, but do they realistically want a coach that had one good season and you have like the reincarnation of the godson himself and you do nothing with him? Like it's now gone from he's going to be the number 1 draft pick to maybe an undrafted free agent to the Canadian Football League.
That's
I don't know.
even nice.
If I'm the Dolphins, I sit there and look at Sarkisian got Ewers to take us or take UT all the way, almost the whole way, and Ewers looked good. Like, unpopular opinion, Ewers was not the problem on that team. The amount of drops they had in the playoff was crazy. Anyway, because two is done, that man is walking CTE. So
That's crazy.
it wouldn't surprise me if they shift to Ewers and bring Sarkisian in to do his thing with him. And it's also true the Miami Dolphins are a dumpster fire, so it's not like he's gonna make it any worse.
And I hate to say it, but Sarks is kind of bred for that type of league where, I mean, he kind of jumped into Texas when NIL hit fire, where, like, you know, Lamborghinis are out for every player to grab and things like that, where I'm like, Sark's got himself deep into that stuff where I'm like, he kind of got a taste of what the NFL is really like with that kind of stuff going on, where I'm like, you know what, Sarks is not the craziest, but he also doesn't, I wouldn't say he has a resume worth going to the NFL for. That's just me.
But the NFL is lacking a lot of good coaches.
Agreed.
Like, they just do coaching trees, but so it's just like you might see a team trying to start something new. And I think Sarkisian would fit better in the NFL than he does in college, to be completely honest with you. I think he's trying to do too much with UT.
Yeah.
I think since the NFL is so much better football, that like I think he could realistically do more stuff that he wants.
I thought about that, about like Texas when they found out they got to join the SEC and NIL happened, just all around the same time. Texas took everything they had and threw it right into the football program to be like, we got to be the best of the best. And boy, did they compete for it. I give them credit. Texas, in like a 1-year turnaround, turned that program into something nobody ever thought of. So, I mean, got a good point. Well,
but fuck them. So
There we go.
Amen to that. Boys, I appreciate y'all guys hanging out with me tonight. It was a lot of fun. Hope we could do it next week sometime. If anybody didn't hear at the beginning of the episode, and to the 4 people that are probably at the end of this episode, picks are due Saturday, November 1st at 11 a.m. And first game is Thursday, October 30th at 6:30 Central Time. You know the drill. Great week 9. Let's get into a week 10. And once again, happy picking.